Welcome to Stock Pot 3, Part 5. This is the brittle material that's got a little bit of silver in it. I'll add that in with my impure silver, cement silver, melt it up into some shot, and run that through my silver cell. This is the liquid that we filtered off of the Stock Pot solids in Part 1. It's got no precious metals, and I'll put this straight in the waste treatment bucket. This is the silver that we cemented on the copper earlier in the series. I'll dump the blue solution off into my silver stock pot bucket, and we'll get that silver out of the bottom of the beaker, melt it, and run it through the silver cell. Here's the platinum group metals that we'll be refining today. I'm going to set this off to the side. I've fallen behind in my house cleaning. I need to do the dishes. But first, what we'll do is take all these little small amounts of precious metals in solution, add them to that beaker, and then we'll put that in our stock pot. All of these solutions will contain small quantities of precious metals. It's not enough to try to go after and do a refining. It's best to just collect them all and add these to the stock pot. In the stock pot, it's full of copper, and these metals will cement out onto that copper and accumulate over time, and then we can do a recovery and get them out like we're doing in this series. Here coming up, you'll see I got a funnel that's got some solids in it, and I'll put that paper in my paper storage. And like I said, it's best to put these small traces of precious metals in the stock pot and let them accumulate there. I've got all the solutions poured into this beaker, and what we'll do is when we empty the active stock pot out into our waste treatment bucket, we'll add this solution to my active stock pot. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to get the black PGM powders out of this beaker down into a single beaker, and I'm going to use hydrochloric acid to rinse this out, get all the metal down into the larger beaker. I'm going to cover this material with about 200 or so milliliters of hydrochloric acid. Now we're going to rinse down the sides with hydrochloric acid. We're ready to start dissolving the platinum group metals. We'll get set up to do that. Drop in a stir bar and put this up on the stir plate. Start stirring. I've got an addition funnel. I've got some 40 volume Salon Care 12% hydrogen peroxide. Make sure the valve is off down here. And now we're going to put about 300 milliliters or so in our funnel. Now I'm going to put the lid on and put this in our little carriage device that we've made for ourselves. I've got a small flexible delivery tube that I'll slide up onto the bottom of the funnel. Now we'll carefully insert this into the fume hood. I'm going to reach up here and grab the plug, pull it out. I'm going to add some heat. It takes a considerable amount of heat to get this reaction going. All I've got in here is our platinum group metals and some hydrochloric acid. I'm going to reach in here and get a little bit of it on a filter paper. And we're going to do a quick stannous test
And you'll see here, hydrochloric acid has put some of the platinum in solution already. Just hydrochloric acid. We're using hydrogen peroxide instead of nitric acid to dissolve our platinum group metals. Hydrogen peroxide is far superior to nitric acid because with nitric acid you could have a chance of getting excess nitric in our solution, and that's bad for the next reaction in the next step. It took about a half hour to get all of the hydrogen peroxide down into our reaction beaker. I'm going to remove our delivery device now, carefully. Now we're going to take it down off the heat and let it cool down a little bit. Now that this is settled a little bit, what we want to do is pour this solution off and check to make sure that we've got all of the solids dissolved in here. Let's pour this off into this larger beaker now. Oh my goodness, I think we've got it, man. I don't see any little bits of metal left in there at all. This reaction is complete. I'm going to get the stir bar out of here, and now we'll rinse the beaker out real good. We've got it all to go into solution, and now what I've got to do, you see I've got about 500 milliliters down here. What I need to do now is evaporate this solution down to a critical level. It can't be too concentrated, and it can't be too dilute. So I'm going to set it back up here on the heat and evaporate our solution down to about 250 milliliters. I'm going to add our stir bar in here to help that reaction. Turn some stirring on. Now we'll just let this evaporate down to about 250 milliliters. It's taken almost 4 hours. We've got the solution evaporated down to just a little above 200 milliliters. What I'm going to do now is take this down. I'm going to allow it to cool off a little bit.
Now that it's cooled down, we're going to pour it through a vacuum filtration and remove any solids that may be present in our liquid before we do the precipitation. Here you can see it's a good thing we filtered the solution. There was some solids in the solution. Now I'm going to transfer the pregnant solution into a clean 600 milliliter tall beaker. The critical concentration for this solution is 1 gram of metal per 20 ml of solution. We've got the perfect concentration with 240 milliliters because we had 12 grams that we started off with. Now I'm going to make a saturated solution of ammonium chloride. It's going to precipitate out the platinum out of our solution. It's going to take quite a bit of this because we need an excess of ammonium chloride for the next step. A saturated solution means that I've got so much chemical in there that no more will dissolve in the water. You can see here it's ice cold. When we mix the ammonium chloride with water, it's an endothermic reaction and turns cold. Now, here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for. I'm going to pour the ammonium chloride into our platinum group metal solution and precipitate out the pure platinum salt. And that's what that yellow looking salt is there. It's quite an exciting reaction to watch. And here I'll just douse it with some more ammonium chloride solution. I need an excess amount of ammonium chloride solution in there to precipitate out and get the palladium in the next step. This is a time lapse of about 5 minutes. That platinum salt will settle quickly, and then what we'll do next is gather it up into a filter.
I'm going to set up a filter now, and we're going to pull our platinum precipitate out of this solution. The solution will be mostly palladium now, but there's going to be a little bit of platinum in the solution. The precipitate will be mostly platinum, but there will be a little bit of palladium in with that platinum precipitate. Go ahead and start filtering our solution to get our platinum salt. That's our platinum salt, and when I get down to it, after I get all the liquid off of it, I'm going to have to use some ammonium chloride water to rinse it, because regular water will tend to redissolve it. We're getting down to the platinum salt now. You can see it in the bottom of the beaker. It does look delicious. Now we'll try to capture the platinum salt in the filter. Looks like mustard. Now we'll use some of the ammonium chloride water to rinse the rest of the salt down into our filter. Again, this is the platinum salt we have in the filter. The solution down here is going to be loaded with palladium. And what we're going to try to do now is rinse as much of the palladium off of here as we can with some ammonium chloride water. While I'm waiting for the solution to filter off of there, I'm going to take my small amounts of platinum group metals that I have left over in these flask and add it to my stock pot temporary container here. I'll put this filter paper in my paper storage. I'm just going to dump some of this ammonium chloride into our platinum salt. See if we can rinse a little bit more of the palladium out of here. Here we go. We're going to transfer our platinum salt. Now into a fused quartz dish. Standing up like a pyramid if I can. There we go. Now we're going to take the platinum salt in a fused quartz dish. I'm going to set it up here. I'm going to start out with some low heat. The reason I'm using low heat to start it off is because there's still lots of liquid in there, and I want to evaporate off the liquid before we go for high heat. I've got a small propane torch here, and I'm going to hit it with a little open flame to try to speed things up a little bit. Otherwise, this is going to take all night. Can't get it too hot, or it'll start spattering because it's a little bit wet still. There's moisture inside there, so I got to take it easy. If I can just burn this paper away, it'd be nice. Alright, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Just to help it along a little bit. I might hit it a couple more times later on. This is about 15 minutes into the calcine. I'm going to turn this up a little bit and see if we can add a little bit more heat, speed things up. Get in here and see if I see any more yellow material. I do not. That gray material right there is our pure platinum sponge. This black material is just the ash from the paper. So we're done. The calcining process is complete. Okay, I'm getting excited. We're almost done here. We're ready to go ahead and throw this in a crucible and melt it up into a pure platinum button. Coat this with plenty of borax. See if we can keep the stuff glued in the melt dish with that. And now we're going to bring the flame down real slow and start melting our platinum. It's looking pretty good, man. Bright, shiny ball of platinum here. Come on out of there. If you look at this thing, I'll get it out of there, but when it solidifies, you won't even be able to tell the flame was on it. That's one of the characteristics of platinum. I may have to dig it out of that dish, but that's our bead of pure platinum. Unbelievable. I'm going to have to reheat everything and try to loosen it up from the melt dish. Let's see if we can get it out of there now. There we go. I got it loose. Thank you, thank you. Here's our button of pure platinum. Look at that thing, man. Nice. Here's our piece of pure platinum. And I can see myself in it. I cannot describe to you the feeling of accomplishment that I have at being able to get this little bitty button of metal. It's probably 99.0 to 99.5% pure. Let's see what we got for weight on this thing. 4 grams. 4 grams of pure platinum. And what we'll do is we'll offer this for sale on my eBay store. And this will conclude part 5. In part 6, what we'll do is we'll attack this palladium that's in this solution, and we'll extract the pure metal palladium from this solution. Alright, that will conclude part 5 of the stock pot refining series. Thanks for watching.